Nestled in the south of France is a small village, Cotignac by name. Surrounded by beauty, it is surprisingly favored by God. Above the village, in the hills, is a place of prayer, a place where people seek God's help for families. It is a place that has been touched by heaven, not once, but twice. It was made famous by two extraordinary visitors who appeared to a woodcutter and to a shepherd.
Many men come to Cotignac. Some are Christians, some don't attend church, others are merely open to the transcendent. But they still come here before making a big decision. St. Joseph is their counselor. Christian tradition holds that St. Joseph embodies chastity. In the spirit of the gospel, chastity is to have mastery over one's sensuality.
Our story finds its beginning on the side of the village where the sun sets. The year is 1519, and the region has been part of the French kingdom for a mere 38 years. It is the morning of August the 10th, and Jean de la Baume arrives with his axe at the top of Verdaille Hill. Jean is a woodcutter. As usual, his day starts with prayer. But this time, as he gets up from his knees, he sees a cloud in front of him. From the cloud, a young woman appears. Standing by her are a monk, another woman, and what looks to be an angel.
I am the Virgin Mary. Go and tell the clergy and the councils of Cotignac to build me a church on this place, in the name of Our Lady of Graces, and that they should come in procession to receive the gifts which I wish to bestow.
"20 years later, still in Cotignac, a second apparition occurs. 2 miles away on Bastion Hill, heaven is about again to favor a humble man. A young shepherd named Gaspard Ricard is herding his sheep. It is hot, and he is in search of fresh grass. At around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the heat becomes so stifling that the thirsty shepherd lies down on the ground. Suddenly, a tall man is standing next to him. He points to a large boulder and says, "I am Joseph. Lift it, and you will drink." The boulder is so large it would take many men to move it, but the shepherd attempts nevertheless, and to his surprise, he succeeds. Underneath, he finds a fresh water spring. When he stands up, the visitor is gone. Without waiting, Gaspard brings the news to the village. Again, like the apparition on Verdaille Hill, the population accepts the story of one of its sons. 3 hours later, all are witness to an abundant source of water where no water had been seen before. Soon the authorities put themselves at the service of the event. On July 25, 1660, the City Council mentions that the source pointed out by St. Joseph has abundant healing qualities and attracts people from all over the region who come to wash, drink, and find healing remedies. But there is also some confusion surrounding the site. The decision is made to keep order and build a chapel there. Since then, the spring has never dried up. The Benedictine sisters report that St. Joseph brings children back to their parents, protects the unborn, and reconciles feuding brothers, and that he also helps people having financial difficulties.
La notion de silence. Beaucoup de gens.
There is not a single instance in the Gospel in which we hear Joseph speak. Many consecrated souls find inspiration in his life at Nazareth to cultivate silence. When he learned of his fiancée's pregnancy, Joseph doubted for a moment. His doubt was understandable, but his spirit remained open to God. Soon he received a divine revelation. Do not fear to take Mary as your wife. So before making a decision, he looked inward. He prayed. Quite the opposite today. We react without thinking. One lives at the levels of the bare facts. So the lesson is to not live at the level of the emotions, but at the level of the reason and goodwill. Before taking a decision, one must internalize.
La Sainte Famille, c'est un domaine extrêmement important.
The model of the Holy Family is all the more important today because families are not in vogue. But what is unfashionable today may never be out of fashion for the Church. And we know that what is fashionable today will be out of fashion tomorrow. We have to realize that as Catholics, we are signs of contradiction. We must not provoke, but we must stay faithful to what we have received, even if we are attacked and ridiculed. What makes us strong is that we are faithful to our faith. And since history swings from one side to the other, what is not good today will probably be good in a few years. We must not want to live in the past. We just keep the sense of the traditional family alive. One sees also initiatives being taken, like fleeing into Egypt. He goes to Egypt, a foreign land. These are all behaviors that could fit our time.
Cotignac's Hill is a place of retreats and pilgrimages, a place where families are at home in the company of Mary and Joseph.
La famille a besoin d'être aidée.
Families need a lot of help. Realities are pulling them apart. Often, parental authority is denied or diluted. Many of our current laws don't favor families, and for this we are all responsible. Many parents no longer educate. Education is left to schools, assuming that they do it. There is instruction, yes, but little education. Education is often done in the street. Jesus says to let the children come to him. This passage has often been misunderstood. It does not mean to stay childish. This is false. To be spiritually like a child in the Bible means to have an attitude of simplicity, a capacity to welcome, to learn, to be amazed. A child should not make demands on his parents. Today, we see children becoming delinquents at 12. This is not to say that we should return to the way things were in the past, but we must find again a sense of authority.
Now it is the St. John community that welcomes the visitors at Our Lady of Graces. The brothers listen to them, preach retreats, and deliver the sacraments. About 100,000 pilgrims come here each year. The pilgrimages are for singles, for the unborn, and for families in general. Parents pray for their children, and children for their parents. Men come to be good fathers, women good mothers.
L'exemple de la Sainte Famille est pour nous important.
Families teach wisdom, and the children, in their turn, will teach it to the next generation. When Jesus was 12 in the temple, he was found sitting among the doctors and the teachers. The child who received the teachings of the Torah had become himself a master.
On voit bien dans beaucoup d'endroits, l'amour, c'est pas simplement faire ce que l'on
Loving
veut,
the children
c'est aussi,
doesn't
encore une
mean
fois,
allowing them to do anything they want. It includes an initiation to freedom, being able to say no to some things. Educating is also renewing a sense of the family meal. Eating is not about raiding the fridge and eating in front of the TV. We must find again the meaning of the family meal. Eating is not just satisfying one's hunger, it's also about talking to each other. One should not watch TV when eating in order to avoid conversation. At the table, the role of the father is to initiate conversation, instead of letting the slogans of the world invade his family. The family meal is also an opportunity to learn good manners in conversation. Mastering the way one speaks is also learned around the table. For a true unity in the family, parents must also recognize that the children are not like them. The sheep herder is a great example. He is not a tyrant who issues marching orders. He knows that some of the sheep walk fast and some slow. He helps the sheep when the road is hard. The unity of the family is a harmony of different personalities. Happy the families who are still gathering on holy days. They understand the importance of being united for special occasions. We have to recognize that in a de-Christianized society, holy days do not exist anymore. Baptisms are barely celebrated. Birthdays are celebrated with the buddies, not with the family. I think that we have to get back to a sense of the family celebration. We are encouraging the families who come here to bring holy days back into their midst with hope and faith. A Chinese proverb says that only dead fish go down with the current, and that the living fish swim back to the spring. We, Christians, want to be fish that are alive. For us, the spring is the Word of God, always fresh and fruitful. And we are not fundamentalists either, holding on to the Bible as if it was magical. The Word is not a frozen reality. The Word has already been commented by the Christian community since the first centuries. The Word lifts man up. The Word is the source for everything else in our lives. Our role in Cotignac is to confirm to the families that they are right to see themselves as domestic churches.